I've been wanting to try some pixel art in Blender for a while now. There are so many cool creators out there who have farmed amazing results. I mean, just look at these, they're gorgeous. I also happen to be sick of my current desktop wallpaper, which is a Nissan Skyline near Mount Fuji with an Australian P-plate next to a ramen sign. Yeah, no, I thought I was cool. Worse yet, I have two monitors, so I had the choice of either disgustingly splitting this render or just duplicating it, which is kind of boring. So the idea is, two birds with one stone. I shall create a pixel art, dual monitor, looping, screensaver, wallpaper render in 4 easy steps. And before I start, I just want to let you know that this wallpaper I'm creating is available absolutely for free on my Patreon, which I shall link below, and you should really definitely check it out, please and thank you. Okay, now that we have all the intro out of the way, let's get right into it. Step 1, planning. So you want to make a complex, detailed bit of art. Well, that's going to be difficult to wing, so don't. Grab a piece of paper and sketch out the very basic composition and get an idea of what you want to create. Keeping in mind, this will cover 2 screens, so you probably need more detail than you think. My idea. So, I don't know. I've always felt cozy when I feel like you can see a lot from a vantage point, but you're sort of hidden. Ever seen that film Rear Window? I mean, look how cozy this man is. Yes, voyeuristic, maybe even questionable. Okay, questionable, but there's something about the safety of a vantage point where you can see what is happening around you, I guess. So my idea I've drawn up is a slightly futuristic city, being viewed from a bedroom window, on a bed, with a DS here and a dancing hologram here. The ocean, some rain, okay. Enough imagining now, we actually got to do the thing we said we would do. I know, it sucks. Step 2, blocking out. Okay, so open up Blender and let's begin the blocking out phase. Make the resolution whatever you want. I'm making it quite wide to span 2 monitors, but remember, we're doing pixel art, so the resolution isn't as important just yet. I'm going to add a window frame to begin with, as that's what will contain everything we see. I like to turn on composition on the camera to really even out what I can see and, you know, use the golden ratio or whatever to make things look intentional. Now I'll begin blocking out the general landscape, really rough. As long as it somewhat matches your drawing, you should be fine. Once you have all your non-default cubes out there in the big old city, I'll be using an Hubert method to texture all my buildings. That is, using an image of a city as an emission and mixing it with a glossy texture, then making displacement with brick texture and a noise texture. I'll show my node setups on screen, but as always, you'll find the related tutorial linked below. I then added some water to my scene by adding a plane, giving it a glossy material and using a noise texture as displacement, mixed to dampen its effect. I also later animate the water using a 4D W value, seen here, but we'll get more into that later. For the landscape materials, I make incredibly basic sand, concrete, and grass textures. Don't even worry too much about these, as it'll be so dark and pixelated, they don't really matter. The things you want to get right are objects that will be emitting light, like buildings or lampposts, as they will really stand out. Step 3, filling out. Now, we're going to start playing with light a little bit. I'll make the stadium lights emissive materials and add a big light in the center to really make it bright. Another thing I'll do is create this emissive texture underneath all the buildings to really make it feel like there's life on the streets coming up from the ground. Let's get the sky looking good as well. To make stars, add a noise texture to the background world and put it through a color amp. It's like the easiest thing ever. Now I'll be adding some boats, cars, and some people. I model 4 different people and give them the most basic, god-awful texture you've ever seen, and no one will ever know because they will literally be 2 pixels each in the background, so why bother with a texture? Just mind your own business. I then spread them with a particle system and use weight painting to place them in parts I think best. Let's add lampposts, because they look cool. I didn't like how big this station thing over here was looking, so I blew it up. But then this side felt really empty, so I needed to replace it with something. So I decided to make a little carnival. Yay. I added little food stands with lights, and hey, these look so easily cool. And I make a little Ferris wheel too. Woo, we are winging it. Like I said we wouldn't, but that's okay because it's only a small portion. Now the interior. Now that the exterior is basically finished, let's make the interior. I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart lately, and I really like the DS version. I mean, who doesn't? So I wanted a little DS lying here with Mario Kart. I'm a simple man. Simply model out the DS and get the video of Mario Kart. Don't ask how I got the video. Make the legal video an emission texture on the DS, and bam, you got a little DS dude. Now, I wanted rain on the windows. My first attempt was just putting stock rain footage as displacement on the windows, but it really wasn't working. And I also found out it doesn't mesh well combined with the pixel art sort of thing. So I went for a more classic approach by just making a plane rain down particles, which are just essentially glass balls. Now this whole view is supposed to be from some type of bed. So let's make a blanket. Get a plane, subdivision, solidify, cloth sim, so easy. Well, unless you count the 50 previous bakes where the cloth decided it was from Aladdin. Apply the cloth sim to convert it to mesh once you have a nice blanket, so you no longer have to worry about Blender's simulation. I'm just gonna quickly model a phone. I'm gonna chuck the Mario Kart video on that as well. We won't be able to see it, but it just gives us a little bit more light, which I really like. I'm also gonna make a hologram dancing lady, which is a completely original concept. I made her by using a Mixamo model and animation, bringing her in, and just making her material a pink emission. The easiest and coolest addition so far, I reckon. Step 4, the final touches. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You are one of the good ones who has kept my audience retention above 70%. Loser. For the final touches, let's animate some things and do some compositing. To animate the people, I give them shape keys and animate them moving forward and back, left and right. Now it looks like a bustling city. Animate the water, like I said before, using the 4D W factor, whatever that means. Animate the boats bobbing up and down. Hell, animate a train going across the screen, and maybe the Ferris wheel as well. Go crazy, I don't know. Very important. Remember, if you want the animation to be loopable, or at least look nice whilst looping, everything that moves should end where it started, or at least start and end hidden. Otherwise, the looping illusion is broken. Now for an even more very important bit, the actual pixel art part that you've probably been waiting for. Simply go to the compositor and add a pixelate node. Yeah, no, it's also that easy. For this resolution, a value of around 5 or 6 works well, but it really depends on your preference. I also like to add a glare effect. I found it also works well with pixel art. And now, relax, as this amazing screensaver soothes your nerves. Well, I don't think that was too bad. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, you can get this for free on my Patreon. Literally, what are you doing? It's free. Just go and pick it up. If you want to, you don't have to, but it would be cool. I had a lot of fun with this, and I just wanted to thank all my new subscribers over the past month. I got like 70 new ones overnight, which was a genuinely fun surprise. Shout out to the US and Germany, which is apparently where most of my views are coming from. So, howdy and auf Wiedersehen, I guess. One last thing, if you want to see the whole process of this project in detail, you can find the time lapse right here if you want to watch through and see how I did something specifically. But yes, watch that, I don't mind. Anyway, I'll catch you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.